Okay, here we go, everybody. Trying to go live on Instagram simultaneously. We'll see if that works out. Anyway, hello, everybody, and welcome. So happy to have you here with me today. Happy Thursday. And I'm going to go ahead and try to click this button again, see if it cooperates. All right, there we are. And we are live on Insta.
Nice.
All right, little bit of a delay there. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live with Lesli. And I'm Lesli Bytel, business strategist and mentor specifically for functional nutrition and medicine professionals in private practice. And I am so delighted to have you here with me today. So here's the situation. If you find yourself kind of struggling to connect with your ideal clients, and grow your practice, i.e., get enough eyeballs on your content, grow your email list, get enough people into your programs, you are definitely in the right place today. We have got you covered. So today, I'm really, really excited to be chatting with my friend and colleague, Jim Bilello from US Marketing. And he's somewhat local to me, which makes it even more fun. Still in Lake Forest, right?
Yes, office in Lake Forest, northern Chicago suburb.
Great. Great. So, and today we're going to be talking about how Google Ads can be a game changer in your practice. So, really good stuff. Let me give you kind of just a quick synopsis of some of the things we'll be covering. We are going to talk about how Google Ads can help you to precisely target potential clients based on their search terms, their interests, and their behaviors, ensuring your ads reach those who need your services the most, how to track and analyze your campaign performance in real time, i.e., looking at metrics like clicks, impressions, and conversions, how Google Ads can help scale your business, providing a flexible platform that grows with you and supports your lead gen efforts as your practice expands. And of course, much more. So lots of good stuff in store for you today. So welcome, Jim. It's been a while
Thanks.
since we've done this. I was so
Yeah.
happy to see you on the schedule today. And it looks
Yeah.
like you're
Thanks,
having
Lesli.
a great summer, spending some time outside, soaking up the
I have.
sunshine while we can, right?
That's right. It's winter's coming in Chicago. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to not talk about that. So, just for those, I know we've had you on the show before, but we've got lots of new followers, a lot of new people in our audience. So why don't you give them just kind of a quick overview of who you are, what you do, and,
Sure.
Maybe how you got to where you are today.
Sure, be happy to. So I'm the president of US Marketing, despite the name. We are a boutique agency. We have been practicing for over a decade. We were recently selected anonymously to me. A reporter in Detroit at Zoe Communications wrote an article about us. We're in the top five, one of the top five agencies for digital and interactive in Chicago. So that was quite an honor. We've been practicing Google paid search, but we work throughout all of the channels, including your organic SEO, your web development, your social, but we don't specialize in those other areas. So we'll work with you or your team or another agency that may be providing those services. For those of you that may be slightly familiar with Google Ads, you know that it can be quite complex and changes all the time. I have a small team here in Chicago, 5 people that work with me. We're all certified by Google at the highest level, and I'll present some things to you. But that's pretty much who we are and what we do. We've been working with Lesli and nutrition clients for the past few years.
Yeah, really, really doing some great work. So continue to hear great feedback, specifically from the clients that I have that have partnered with Jim. So, all right. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Let's just jump in. Well, actually, how about if we pose a question to our audience? Has anyone used Google Ads? Let's kind of get a little feedback just so we know where things are. Um, let's see here. So yeah, just respond in the chat and just kind of let us know, what your status is. Have you toyed with Google Ads? Have you done them before? And if so, how'd you feel about it? What kind of results did you get? Because I do know that, okay, so Heather Smith, welcome. Okay, so Heather is never used. Okay, so that's great. And I do know that Google Ads are, let's just say, it's probably not for the faint of heart when it comes to doing it yourself, right, Jim?
Well, you need a budget because
Yeah.
Google's not free, and this might be a good time for me to present something on screen, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So I'm just going to present my screen here, and let's see if we can make that work. I think we can. So one of the things that you should be seeing now is what I call a digital Venn diagram. Does that show up well, Leslie?
Yeah,
Is it okay?
yeah. It's
All right.
pretty busy, but yeah.
Well, it's okay. So I'll explain it.
Okay.
This is the sweet spot between your SEO, your paid search, and your social media. What does that mean? SEO is used by the general public for everything, but it's really not anything other than unpaid searches on a search engine. This graphic over here illustrates that Google is the undisputed leader in search, followed closely by Facebook. But you can advertise on Facebook, which in its purest form is not social media. So this diagram gets at what the sweet spot is in driving digital clients to your website. Should you have Facebook, social media, Meta, LinkedIn? Absolutely. You can advertise on them just like you could advertise on Google. But SEO in its purest form is just being found without an ad. You need all three of these.
Mhm.
And to illustrate how difficult, if you don't already know how difficult it is to be found, if you enter just a search in Google for
Mhm.
your general products and services and do not include your name or your business name or your exact location, it's going to be very difficult for you to appear. That's where Google Ads comes in. And one of the things that we've learned over the years is that by geofencing your advertising, you can come up with a very affordable budget. So Leslie's clients will often pick specific zip codes or suburbs, either in their area, or if they want to reach a larger area, that's fine. We can precisely give you a plan to show you how many times your ads might show up and how much they cost.
Love that. Yeah, and I'm just going to put it out there, with licensure being as it is these days, being able to target certain geographies isn't a bad thing, right?
Is very important, and also one of the pieces of research that we have behind the scenes as Google agency partners. I'll just present this
Mhm.
briefly uh, to show the audience. Let's see if I can. Yep, I can just share a tab. It'll be better.
Cool.
This is our website at usmarketing.bz, and a couple of things that I've talked about. Uh, People who put these Google badges on their website often are not being honest. This badge must be hypertext linked. When you click on the link, it takes you to google.com/partners where it shows the partner profile. Without that, it's just a funny looking badge. Secondly, we can precisely model, which I'll show you here an example from our website, what the search volume is in any geography. This is a Chicago suburb. This is a real plan for a client a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
This client had a larger budget, so don't be frightened. We can work with budgets from as little as a few $100s a month. This particular corporate client wanted to show their ads in a very competitive industry, and they had about $4,000 a month to invest. We can show them that for the keywords that are most important in their industry, their ads would show up in that precise geography 26,000 times a month. And we know from live Google search data from the past 12 months about how many clicks they could receive on their website. But we all know clicks are not clients. So then we can apply third-party benchmark rates from Search Engine Watch, and we know that about 3.5% of those clicks will wind up contacting them. That would be about 29 contacts. When you take that data together and put it to your website, we can then work with you to see how many of those folks actually become your clients. And that is the gold standard, of course, for you as a small business. So think of it as a funnel. Very difficult to appear on page one for general searches of your nutrition services without your name or your exact location. Secondly, for as little as a few $100s a month, you can get your ads on page one in a certain geography, and we can create a model like I just showed you to show you how many clicks and potential hand raisers or contacts you might get.
Very cool. Okay, so a lot of this is very data driven, clearly.
Yes.
And the data, which I do have to say, I really love that. Instead of, kind of our intuition and our gut driving the decisions, I really appreciate that these decisions are mainly driven by data, right? Objective data. So I think that's
so while your audience is digesting that, the other tool that is free is Google Analytics. For those of you who have Google Analytics and log in at analytics.google.com, you would be able to see who's coming each month to your website.
Okay.
From all channels. So I'll just give you an illustration of this.
That'd be great. Did everyone get that website?
So analytics.google.com.
Okay.
And one of the things that you will see there, this is a real analytics screen from a client that is showing last 28 days, and you can see who's coming from paid search. Direct means they directly typed in the name of your website, organic search, referrals. And one of the offers that Leslie and I will make is that we'll give you a free Google Analytics analysis of your website, provided you have Google Analytics. Not everyone does have this. Many of your third parties, like Wix and Square and so forth, will offer you lightweight versions of analytics, but they won't show you this channel breakdown, showing you cost per click, direct entry, referrals, traffic, and then tracking what we call key events. So if you have a download or if you have a contact form, we can track those and then report back to you who's coming from where. So this is a key part of understanding if your website is working, as well as understanding how well your website is communicating to the outside world.
Love that. Okay, so, all right. So does that pretty much cover? I was going to ask you how Google Analytics, how it'll allow you to see how many people are visiting your website. So basically, my takeaway is that we need to get in and Google Analytics.data.com, make sure that Google Analytics is connected.
That's not the right website. It's analytics.google.com.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's get rid of that. All right. Let me redo that. Okay. Yeah. Google Analytics feels so overwhelming is one of our comments. What do you say to that?
It's true. Google makes things so complex. They just
Why
changed
do they do it? Is it so that we feel like we can't do it.
I think the engineers can't help themselves. And truthfully, larger clients that are spending $10,000 or more a month on Google Ads, they're catering to them for their need for more details. Unfortunately, the 80/20 principle applies. Maybe 20% or less of Google's clients spend that kind of money, but the 80% are small businesses like yourselves.
Right.
And it is overwhelming. And how much time do you have to watch YouTube videos and learn things that are changing all the time? So it does provide companies like mine with job security in the same way that many of us employ a CPA to do our taxes. Could we spend hours and hours poring over tax forms and probably make mistakes? Yeah, we could, or we can pay a professional. So it does work for us to help you, and we build our business and feed our families that way.
Okay, so hopefully I got this right.
That's right.
All right.
Analytics.google.com.
All right, so there you go. There's the website. And any tips to, I mean, how hard is it to connect your website so that it's,
That's a great question.
yeah,
So if you have one of the preferred platforms, such as WordPress, it's not that hard.
okay,
However, some of our mutual clients, Leslie, have websites that are made from Wix or Squarespace or Drupal or others,
yeah,
and that can be a little bit more challenging. Again, they may provide you a lightweight version of Google Analytics, but that's really not going to give you the details that you need in most
okay,
cases. And if you do decide to advertise, it is not what you need to really track those advertising clicks and what we call conversions or hand raisers.
okay,
So again, it's best to, Leslie and I are offering this free analytics consultation. If you contact Leslie, she'll put you in touch with me and we can analyze what's going on. If you don't have Google Analytics, we can determine that by using our tag manager. And even if you don't have Google Analytics, I have third-party subscriptions to SEMrush and others that can approximate the traffic that's coming to your website and give you some analysis. So regardless of what you have or don't have, we can help you.
yeah. All right, yeah, and we will talk more about, but I did figure out to put my email address there. So as we dig into more detail and you decide that you want to take us up on Jim's very generous offer to do an analysis, all you have to do is email directly, and we'll get you hooked up. All
Now,
right. So yeah.
a couple other things that your audience may be interested in, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
We all have competition. And so one of the things that we can learn by using third-party tools that we have is who is advertising in your area with similar kinds of keywords. And we can often see the ads and the type of keywords that they're using on their website. So remember I'll just present again that SEO diagram. Remember that the sweet spot from all of I have to share my whole screen, I think, to get to that. Yeah. Remember the sweet spot here is the center of SEO, which includes things on your website like your content, your blog posts. Many people don't realize that YouTube is owned by Google, and that will help you be found without an ad. So short YouTube videos are important, but you
Well,
have to set them up the right way. You have to put titles and descriptions, and it's best to have tags and links that go back to your website. So this circle here, when you do paid search with proper SEO and social media, then you can really win at digital marketing. But
mhm.
it does take a lot of time and work, and nobody has unlimited resources. So we'll
Mhm.
help you decide how to proceed to achieve your digital marketing goals.
Okay, love that. Okay, so that was kind of a key point, the connection with YouTube. in terms
Yes.
of helping you get found, and just the importance of knowing how to actually post, right? So it's not just
Yes.
putting a bunch of videos on to YouTube. That's probably not going to do a whole heck of a lot. I think the strategy behind it and being really clear on what your intentions are is critical here. And being really kind of researching your topics as well, right? So that you're not just putting out a whole bunch of videos that are maybe you're interested in them, but your audience, like nobody's searching for that particular topic, right?
So YouTube is the second most used search engine behind Google text search itself. And
Mhm.
you will see YouTube videos when you do text-based search. Again, Google owns YouTube, and I'll just share my screen again and show you one of the things that's important about YouTube. When you look at, this is YouTube, and I just typed in functional nutritionist, you know that advertising is sponsored.
Yep.
So we can actually have your YouTube videos appear on page one of YouTube like this. But even more than that, we can have, when you potential clients that are trying to find out about your services are looking at someone else's video, we can put your ad on the front end of their video if they're taking advertising. So typically, and I don't know if this particular person who has 13,000 views, Functional Nutrition Alliance or others is taking ads. Let's see if I can find one. But you're all familiar where you're starting before you can play a video. Probably somebody like this is taking advertising, science and nutrition. Let me just see if we
Mhm.
see an ad that comes up. Yeah. So this is an ad, and you
Mhm.
can see that it's a sponsored ad. You can pause it in 6 seconds. So before you can see this functional nutritionist video, you are exposed to 6 seconds of Harbor Freight. That is exactly what we would do for your YouTube advertising. And Google has several paid campaign types. In addition to just the text based ads and the YouTube ads, Google has a new campaign type called Pro Max, which can show your ads across Google Search, YouTube, Gmail, and over 3 million websites. So, this is where it becomes overwhelming, but we're here to guide you and help you start taking baby steps with
Mm.
perhaps simple text-based ads to start and then expanding to YouTube and Pro Max.
Okay. So you'll help people figure out they don't have to sit here and go, okay, here's exactly what I want. You're going to help them identify
Yes,
where the biggest opportunities lie for them.
we'll guide you every step of the way within your budget. So
Mhm.
we're going to try to be very transparent in what do you want to spend. If you don't have a few to several $100s a month to spend on advertising, honestly, this isn't going to work for you. Somebody's got to pay for those clicks. So I have seen this work with as little as $300 to $500 a month. If you
Mhm.
consider any type of advertising that you do, whether it's
Mhm.
direct mail or paying for social media, that's not a big ask. If we can get that working for you, you can always scale up and expand to these other campaign types.
Okay. All right. So my question is so if we run ads, what's our call to action? Like what are we trying to get people to do on,
Yeah,
the consumer end?
yeah. So that's a great question. And the answer is that it will depend on your website and your landing page. So,
Okay.
one of the things that we will help you determine is which keywords on your current website or landing page are being queried the most using our tools. And then we'll help you build a call to action that works with your particular specialty. So we've worked with nutritionists that have specialties with fatty livers and diabetes. We've worked with nutritionists that have specialties relating to just healthy weight loss. We've worked with nutritionists who are trying to help people understand why it might be a good idea to have a diet based on particular uh, symptoms that they may have. So, whatever your focus is, we're going to analyze your website content and then build a plan with a message in the ad to get them to contact you for what you're offering.
Okay.
Some of you are offering seminars, webinars, trips. We have to consult with you to see where that's going and build up a plan that seems workable for the advertising you put into it. In general, you have to have products and services that are going to be profitable enough to return your ad spend. I'll give you an example. If you're offering $20 webinars, it's going to be very tough.
Yeah.
So we have to be judicious about what you're spending and what you're trying to accomplish with that spend.
Yeah. So, got to put my plug in here.
Yeah.
And that is not necessarily for myself, but guys, programs and packages, right? So that each sale is a nice chunk in terms of revenue, right? So that's really going to help you be in a good position in terms of just your return on investment for Google Ads.
That ad spend projection that I gave earlier is a funnel. So if you invest, let's say $500 a month, we can show about how many clicks, about how many people might contact you. And as that funnel narrows, then you want to get them into your lead nurturing and CRM systems. If you don't have a lead nurturing or CRM system, Leslie will help you because that is an important part of your business, all of our businesses. If we don't follow up on people who contact us, even if they're not ready right now to work with us, we're going to lose business.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can absolutely help you design your services so that you're really going to maximize your ROI on Google Ads for sure. So, all right, I got a question for you. Might be rhetorical. In fact, I think it will be, but I'm going to ask it anyway because it might be on the minds of our audience today. Which is more effective, Facebook and Instagram ads or Google ads, and why?
So the answer is this. I'm going to present my screen and show you something from Google Analytics. I know it can be hard to see all the numbers and so forth, but you can see that referral and social media can be an important part of traffic that comes to your website.
Mm-hmm.
Having a lot of traffic is only as good as the quality of traffic. So when you have a social media referral that actually does something that you want on your website, that's quite valuable, but they work together. So what happens this is Google Analytics 4, if I take this segmentation off, what happens here is that we can see that paid search and direct and referral and organic, they all work together. In other words, no one channel, social or paid, are necessarily the silver bullet. If you think about your own browsing history, you may absolutely see something on Meta or Instagram and be interested in it. Many times, your clients will then also go out on Google and do research on that company, and they'll come in through direct channels. Or they may see an ad on Google when they're doing a search, which we could illustrate by just doing a simple Google search here. This is a Google browser. And if I put in functional nutrition and type enter, I'm getting sponsored or advertising results here. So we have integrativenutrition.com, Mind Body Green, Parker University. And one of the things that's important to realize is that, again, just for this search, functional nutrition, it's going to be very hard to be at the top of this page without an ad, unless you have your specific name of your company or your exact location. And so there are many facets to that Venn diagram, and then there's sponsored ads at the bottom too.
Mhm.
So we have Saybrook University, Sign Up, FX Nutrition, Fay Nutrition, and this is a local nutritionist. They're all on page one, and the share and the sponsored ads are key to doing that. But if we look on Facebook, we will also then see ads, and we may go out on Google to see, is this a real company? What are their credentials? What are their reviews looking like?
Mhm.
Because Google is considered the leader in transparency in reviews, legitimate reviews. You have to be logged in to give a review. And not that Bubbles 2345 on Instagram might not be considered a good objective reviewer, but Google is considered something that people will go out to double check. So they all work together.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, just my thought process is, and this is not based on data, I will say that, is that, if so, in my mind, it's a more active searching process, obviously, on Google Ads, right? It's potentially a person that's typing into Google seeking a solution, right? Versus, and I don't want to say always, because I run tons of Facebook and Instagram ads myself, right? Um, but I think sometimes the risk is that you're attracting people that just want the freebie, right? And it's not a very, it's like, okay, I'm sitting there looking at my friend's vacation pictures, and suddenly I see, an ad for a PDF or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sounds okay. I think I'll grab it. Right.
So that's a very important point you're making, Leslie, because many of our combined clients give too much information away for free.
Mm,
And so one of the things that we learn to help with is give a little bit for free, but
mhm.
similar to valuable articles that we might see from the Wall Street Journal or something else, they're going to say, do you have a subscription? I'm not suggesting you charge, but you should get their email address before you give them the whole
Oh,
PDF or the whole download, so that then you can nurture those leads. So however they come to you from Facebook, Google Ads, social posts that aren't advertising, you have to get them into your CRM system or you've lost them.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that is, really how I recommend that we leverage just social media in general, is to greatly, it allows us to greatly expand our reach, and hopefully you're getting those people onto your list, onto your CRM, so that you do have the opportunity to nurture. Okay, so is everyone pretty good on the difference between SEO and Google Ads? I think, is there anything you want to add on that, Jim? Or do you feel like we covered that pretty well?
Well, I just know from 10 years of doing this that people refer to SEO as everything, and it's not advertising. It's being found without an ad.
Oh,
Um, and so it's important to understand how those all work together to drive the right clients to your website. And
okay.
that's where Google Analytics comes in.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, SEO is like on page, it's what's on your website. And it also can include, you know, driving traffic via your blog and things like that. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
One of the most common questions is, how much does it cost? And I know you kind of touched on this, in that
Yeah.
you can work within pretty much any budget, right?
You need a few to several $100s, yeah,
Yeah.
per month.
Okay.
And you
So
don't have to do it long term, but it is important to realize this is not something you can turn on for a week and think that the results are going to come in immediately. People's browsing behavior and the frequency that you advertise requires at least 90 days to test this. If
Okay.
you think about, again, any other advertising you do, whether it be social media or mailings, you've got to have enough frequency in the market to get statistically relevant data. Otherwise, you're just throwing a dart at the board one time, and if
So
you're
you gotta
lucky, you get a
go
client, but that's not how
in.
it should be
Yeah,
done.
yeah, you guys, you gotta go in with a commitment to, spend, or let's say invest, right? Invest is a better word, a over a 90-day period minimum, right? Like,
Yes,
on anything less than that, it's honestly just gonna be a waste. And we have mutual clients that have been running ads for years,
for
and
years, yes.
it's my understanding that their results continue to get better and better and better over time.
So one of your audience viewers, Donna, is asking about a focused area and
Ah,
a
yeah,
budget. So the word focused is important because what Donna may think is focused is not what Google thinks is focused. We can market to as little as a 1 mile radius or a zip code. However, depending on what we see with Google Analytics, we will be able to help you see what the search volume is for the keywords related to your business in that area. Sometimes the area is too small. So if the area is too small and there aren't enough searches for the keywords and searches that you want, the campaign will fail. And this is why we model this. It may take a 5 mile radius, it may take a couple of affluent suburbs. So, one of the things that we've learned by working with Leslie's clients is that it's no secret. You guys charge. You need to charge to pay your bills.
you do.
So honestly,
Amen
it's
to that.
not a great idea to advertise to areas that don't have money to invest in things like nutrition. Um, Megan is asking about nationwide. Yes, absolutely. We have clients. We have one here in Chicago that's been a client for years that's a nutritionist, and she does advertise nationwide. And we were able to drive a ton of traffic to her landing pages, and she's very sophisticated in sorting that out. So, depending on what you want to accomplish, and I do have therapists and counselors that advertise for telehealth, we can analyze the competition, the cost per click, and what you want to spend. So, Google is an auction. There's only 10 results on page one of Google, not including the ads. There can be 4 ads at the top of the page, 4 ads at the bottom. So, what I'm trying to get across is with millions of results, to be one of those 10 or to be one of those ads, you have to pay a price per click. We can set a daily budget to make it more concrete. Let's say your daily budget is only $10 a day or $300 a month. And let's say that clicks are a dollar and a half. You're going to be very limited to only getting a half a dozen clicks before your ads come down to the end of the day. So then we have to think about the geography. So there's an interplay between the geography, the type of keywords you're going after, and the specifics of your product or service that you're offering. And we'll help you navigate all of that.
Love that. Any other effective strategies that you're seeing with our nutrition clients that they're, really helping them to be successful in this arena?
Yes, there's seasonality. I'm
Okay.
sure those in your audience realize that there are times of the year, we're coming up on one right now, where people are starting to think about their diet and what's going to happen over the holidays. This
Mhm.
is a peak season for your type of services. There are other times of the year where people are not so concerned about their nutrition. There are also ways to help people come to your website to begin to fill your mid and upper funnel by their typing in symptoms like, what should I eat or not eat for diabetes? What should I eat or not eat for fatty liver disease? if that's one of your specialties, then we'll work with you and yourself or your developer and Leslie to make sure that you have a good landing page that talks about that.
Mhm.
Because if you're paying for clicks and they just come to a general website that doesn't specifically address what they're Googling, you
Mhm.
will lose them and not get as good a return on your ad dollars. So we want to direct those searches to the specific place on your website that talks about that, and you have 10 seconds. They're not going to read a 2,000 word blog post on this. So you got to get them with good images, maybe a quick 30-second video, and a form that they can fill out to get more information.
Okay. I love that. Um, what's maybe one piece of advice you wish everyone would take?
Google is not an ATM machine. Sometimes people are new to a business
Mhm.
and they haven't tested their product or service offering. If what you're doing is successful, then advertising on Google and Meta will enhance that. If what
Mhm.
you're doing is not successful or sellable, then no amount of advertising is going to change that. So it's important to work with Leslie to test your business model and your offering. And if you start to get good success and good reviews, then we can use that to help enhance either in a small geography or with a small service area that you want to grow.
Okay. I love that. All right, guys, I put my email address on the screen. Tell us a little bit more about this process that you will take people through in
Sure.
terms of the complimentary
Yeah.
session you're offering.
So when you reach out to Leslie via email, she'll refer you to me. You'll get on my calendar. We'll do a 30-minute session to start. If during those 30 minutes we're able to see your Google Analytics or use some of our third-party tools to take it to the next level, then we'll schedule a follow-up. All of us are way too busy. Nobody wants to waste time. So in 30 minutes, I'll be able to quickly show you what might be possible. And then if you want to move from there, we can talk about follow up steps. Um, the steps will be much like I showed you on my website, where we'll see which keywords in a specific area produce a certain number of searches, a certain number of clicks, and how much that might cost you. And we can do all of that as well as your Google Analytics analysis within 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. So, yeah, guys, Leslie at lesliebytel.com. Drop me an email, drop me a message. You can, whatever platform you're on, you can message me and I'll take care of you.
One
But
final thing I want to leave your audience with. US Marketing uses very transparent business practices as a Google agency premier partner. You pay your advertising directly to Google. You
Mhm.
pay us separately as a management fee. So you never have to wonder what went into our pocket to manage your Google ads and reporting versus what you pay for advertising. So this is very important because there are, as you know, people out there who are not honest and will take your money and they may not advertise with it. So we separate those so that you can see to the penny what you paid for ads versus what you pay for management.
Okay. Yeah, that's critical. Absolutely. Okay. All right, guys. So drop me a line. We'll get you connected and you can see for yourself how Google Ads might just help you give your business the edge that it needs to move forward. Like I said, lots of my clients have worked with Jim very, very successfully. And yeah, so that's why I had him on today. He is a trusted resource, and I think that is the key. Because let me tell you, I've heard a lot of stories out there. I would only have someone on that I really, really trust. And let's see, Megan Marie, what if you're offering Oh, okay, I think we answered this already, right?
Yeah,
I
we
think
talked.
we're good. Okay, we're good. Heather says, "Thank you." All right, guys, I think we're good to go. I don't see any more questions. So thank you so very much for joining me today, Jim. I really appreciate it. It is
Thank you.
always
Thank
very
you for the
insightful.
opportunity. I appreciate everyone that tuned in. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, bye, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you same time, same place next week. All right, bye for now.
Bye for now.